Welcome to my world. As I introduce myself with love and honesty, I remember the day I was brought to the earth. It was Mother's Day, the year 1990, in the hospital Our Lady of Lourdes. I was the second child to be born. I am also the second oldest child out of 3 children in my part of the family. First is my brother Joey. He's 22 years old. Then comes myself. I am 18 years old. And then at last, there's my little brother, who's Willie, and he is 17 years old. At the age of 10, my parents was living together. They were a legally married couple. But as the years began to pass by, my parents began to lose trust within each other. At this point in my story, there is no more trust in this relationship. They began a new relationship of no trust and plenty of hate. My father had cheated on my mom, and she knew what was going on, but she had left everything alone. My mother had called him and told him to leave the house and forget about the kids. We started to cry as little kids we were. He packed a couple of things in a laundry bag and had left the house. Unfortunately, days had gone by, and there were no signs of Dad anywhere. A couple of months passed by. Dad was arrested by cops and was taken away. He had to complete 3 years in jail. My father would have made it back to the streets when I turned 14 years old. It was his time to come out of jail to finally take care of us. Mom took 2 positions. She took place as mom and dad because of the simple fact that Dad was away. Mom was happy to see the day had finally arrived. Mom cooked and fixed up the house. The phone rang. Mom received the call. It was my father's lawyer. He told my mother that my dad was recently being deported to his country, Dominican Republic. My birthday came. I felt lonely, lost, and most definitely like a loser. But as time went by, I kept on with my life, standing strong, keeping all of my feelings and emotions locked away. I felt as if no one would understand me and my little brother. As for my big brother, he had went away to Puerto Rico for a couple of months because of his behavior. My mother began a new relationship with some other guy who had came out of nowhere barging into our lives. So this unknown man, he's my stepdad. He was the greatest until he messed up the family by doing the same thing my father was doing. The FBI came one day early in the morning, knocking at my house door looking for my stepdad. The FBI had asked him who was taking and traveling drugs for and how many people knew about the drug process. He gladly said my mother knew. She was the only one involved in this problem. After things happened, to avoid problems, my mother decided to move. The FBI found our new location. The FBI went over and took my mother away in handcuffs and with her head facing the ground and tried to take us, but our uncle stepped in and took us to our grandmother's house. Mom had to complete 4 mandatory years in jail. We stayed with my grandmother until my mom had got a chance to tell the family what to do. I would take my time to write to my mother, and you will see the stress and the depression will create a pond filled with teardrops of so much crying. So I end my story without a mother because of doing jail time, lost a brother because of behaving, lost a dad for a drugs transaction, also was deported to his country, died on April 24th, 2008 of cancer in the pancreas. So I am left with my little brother who is still attending high school. And yes, if you dare, you may welcome yourself to my life zone. I will be waiting.